Welcome to the podcast. I don't know what number episode this is,
6 or 7.
but I'm glad you could join us.
Welcome back.
So, I wanted to get started talking about hate watching.
Yeah.
So, do you hate watch?
Occasionally. How about you?
Absolutely. I feel like it's therapy.
I think you do hate watch more than I do. But yeah, I hate watch here and there. There's some people they're like walking car accidents. You just need to see what they're going to do next.
Yeah, it's always going to be something bad, so you're just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. That's all I got on that topic right now.
Well, I did look up those other things that it said online if you wanted to go over those. You could talk about if you agree or disagree with them. So there's the idea of elitism, where you hate watch something because you feel like you're better than them or you could do it better. Like you are essentially better than them in some way, which I kind of agree with, because if you can sit there, for me, if I can say that they are a walking dumpster fire, then clearly I think I'm better than them, right?
Not necessarily, actually.
True, but to a degree. I feel like elitism kind of makes sense. It's not why I would do it, but
I'll give it to you.
I can see the idea of, like, I could do better if I did that.
Yeah, okay. I guess I see what you're saying here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So elitism, I would say maybe.
Yeah, for some people, not for everyone. A secret desire to have the opportunities that they have or to be doing what they did. Like, for example, for that one, I'd say Trump's small loan of, what was it, $1 million, whatever it was. It's like, you watch that fall, and you're like, fuck you, you hate watch him. But it's like, wouldn't you have loved to have a loan of $1 million? Small little, here you go. I get that. Yeah.
See, I don't hate watch for, like...
selfish reasons, yeah?
I hate watch because I can't punch a bag, and I have a lot of aggression, so in order to get it out, I have to hate watch. I mean, I don't have to, but it's enjoyable, and I'm not doing anything that's like, I'm going to harm myself, or cost a lot of money to do something that I don't have because I'm poor.
I think you'll agree with the third one the most.
Okay. What is it?
Morbid curiosity.
Of what?
You know, whatever's going on. Just like why we watch true crime stuff sometimes. Because you're just really curious about how dark it gets or whatever's going on there. There's some part of your brain that wants to know.
For hate watching?
Yeah.
I guess I don't see that.
No? You don't think so? Let me see. Yeah, like someone put it as a what-if experience. Like, what if I was put in that situation? Like you said with the true crime thing before. What if we are out and then someone attacks us? We need to know how to handle that.
Yeah, but that's not hate watching. That's watching for help.
I agree.
There's a benefit to that.
I wouldn't say that's hate watching either.
But hate watching, there is a benefit.
Yeah.
It's a release of endorphins and aggression. You know, you can't... that pent-up rage, you got to get it out somehow. Ooh. So, yeah, I'll go. I'll go. But it's better than punching someone in the face, you know?
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. I'm not saying I agree with these reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I just found them very fascinating, and I felt like some of them hold some water.
They hold water.
Some, just a little.
Women stay single without kid. Why did I write that down?
We were watching something from the Young Turks last night, and...
Oh, about women...
Yeah.
What the fuck is that dude's name?
Something really basic.
Tim Pool. Tim Pool is the dude's name.
So basic.
He was talking about...
Go on.
He was saying that women will find their lives meaningless and miserable when they get to their 40s if they don't have kids. I don't know where he got these facts from, but I don't think he's using his brain when he speaks.
No. But you asked, the reason you wrote that down is because you asked why are less women having children?
Why?
Why are they staying single and not having kids?
Because everyone's fucking broke.
Ding, 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 ding. They can't afford it.
Yeah, unless you're born into a family who has money, you can afford to do those things. but most people I know can't afford it.
What did you
It's
say?
fucking expensive.
What did you say the cost of divorce was?
Oh shit! The median
$7,000
cost
to $20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get a car instead. It's a better investment.
Get a dog. You get a dog.
Well, if you're gonna waste $7,000 to $20,000, you might as well get a vehicle.
The cost
or
of having a
something.
child is $300,000 something dollars, and that's not including college.
Just
and
to
all that
have a baby in the hospitals without insurance is at least $100,000. That's just to birth the child from your fucking hooter.
Yep.
Why would anyone do that? To birth one child, I know I could buy 10 of the cars I've had.
That's
in the
why I'm
past.
thinking
That's
that most
wild.
children are just born on accident.
Yeah. Because straight people make mistakes and the condom breaks or they forgot to take the pill and then boom, there's a baby.
It could be the whole ADHD thing. You know, if you think about it, relating back to the fellow on Joe Rogan. Okay, so what he said is that when the parents are stressed, right? This relates back. He says when the parents are stressed, the baby, the child, takes that on as well, right? And so in their later development, they have ADHD. If they had two parents who were loving, not helicopter parents, of course, but, you know, who are loving and were around more and were there for the child, they would grow up pretty much not having ADHD. I don't remember the science behind it, but that's what he said. And it made sense. It was logical. So he said the core thing of ADHD is poor impulse control.
Yes.
Okay. So who has poor impulse control? People with ADHD who didn't have good parents.
Yeah.
Right? Why were the parents stressed? What's the number one thing that stresses people out the most? Money. So you have to assume that the parents are poor. So child grows up like this, is also poor because parents grow up poor and it's really fucking hard to get ahead in life. Poor impulse control, having sex, not making good decisions. Oops, now I have a baby. So there's more poor babies being spawned.
I would definitely put it down on impulse control. I think that unfortunately, the reason people have kids very often is so selfish. It's so selfish and self-conceited. It's I want to do better than my parents. I want to prove that I can do better than my parents. I want a kid who didn't have to go through what I went through. If you don't have a kid, they don't have to go through what you went through. Fun fact, you don't have to have a kid to not put someone through what you went through. You can prove that in any other way fucking possible by not bringing a life into the world. And that's probably why less people are having kids. I don't need a child to prove that I'm better than what I went through as a kid. I know I would never do that to someone else.
Really better than your parents.
Why do you have to have another life to do that? If you're like, okay, I just, I want a family. I will take that 100% over. I want to do better than my parents. If you're just like, no, I've always wanted a family. Okay. But it doesn't make sense.
A lot of women also have children, not only because they think it's what they're supposed to do, but also they're hoping it'll fix their problems.
It's fulfilling for them.
Yes, they'll have an identity finally. They'll be a mom.
Or they won't be alone.
That too. They will have someone to
care for them.
Always have.
They can care for
this
thing.
It's a fear of loneliness. There's a
them.
lot of reasons why people have kids that are like absolutely terrible. Absolutely.
And so people are upset now because women for the first time are like, hey, I'm going to control what happens with my body. I'm going to make sure I take birth control. I'm going to make sure I do not get married. I can't afford these things to go wrong. And people are going to be like, well, you're going to have a miserable life. Fuck that. You're probably doing very, very well, being very, very happy.
Yeah, because you don't have the finances to take care of someone. You could barely take care of yourself. There's a video I'm going to show you later, but Cardi B was talking about the ridiculous prices of rent and how the fuck people nowadays are able to fucking survive. Can you imagine having a child after that? I mean, first of all, you got the fucking healthcare issue. Heaven forbid you get sick and you're not on Medicaid, Medicare, or you have health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, you're fucked, right? Then you got the credit cards thing, right? Heaven forbid you went to school, now you're fucking student loan debt.
And even further than that, let's say you happen to have the money to do it. There was just a formula shortage. How the fuck do you expect people to produce more children if you can't even keep up with the kids we have now?
Yes.
Even if you want kids, you hear that and it's scary. That's a scary thought. Really, people are so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's an incredible financial burden to have a child.
Yes.
And if we can't even afford to take care of ourselves, what in God's name would make anyone think that the problem will be solved once we have a child? You're pretty much going to bear a child who's going to be poor and fucked up.
It's
because
true.
the mom's not going to be fucking around.
They're not.
Right? Because mom has to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to take care of the child?
Dad has to work, mom has to work because you're poor.
And that's if
Daycare's
you have a
expensive.
dad, right? Can't do daycare.
Daycare is way too expensive.
So you're pretty much entrusting the safety of your child in the care of people that you really don't know. Now, that's just the...
Or you're optimistically
just
hoping your
assume
parents
that your
are
child...
around.
Yeah, your grandparents, right?
Your parents who you want to be better than hopefully will take care of your kid that they fucked up with you. They'll do better with them, right?
I was lucky I did have grandparents who took care of me, and they were good.
If my grandparents were around, it'd be a different story.
Right? But no, not everyone has grandparents. I feel like Tim Pool is just saying this. It's just propaganda to try to manipulate and gaslight, in his sick and twisted way, women into into having children. But you see, by doing that, you're manipulating women to having children for the wrong fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have this child for me. I'm going to have this child so I don't have to suffer later on.
I'm not lonely. I'm
Hey,
not
Mom,
scared.
why did you have me? Because I was afraid that I was going to be miserable in my 40s.
Because I was really scared that nobody would want me. So it was easier to make someone who has no fucking choice but to stay with me than to actually put time and effort into real relationships. That's what having a kid like that says. I cannot put my time and effort into a relationship, so I have to make something that cannot leave me.
Yeah. Mic drop. Well, it's true. I would say it's definitely true.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so 9/11 was just this past week. Where were you on 9/11?
I was in a car seat dropping my brother off to preschool.
Were you? Oh, I didn't know that.
I was 2.
2.
He was 5. Maybe it was kindergarten. Either way. Pre-K or kindergarten, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was up to. And, yeah, I was with my mom.
I was 16 at my senior year of high school. And I remember I was walking to class, and in the classroom they had the TVs were on. Because you only had we had the big tube TVs,
Mm-hmm.
on the carts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So not every room had a TV in it. So everyone kind of went into my classroom, and they were watching the news, and the one tower was hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember people being like really confused. And I remember specifically thinking, I'm really glad they evacuated the building and no one's in there. Because I thought in my 16-year-old mind that there's no way they didn't get people out. Now, later on, you find out that they told people to stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, yeah, it was crazy. Like, everything went into fucking lockdown. Everything changed. The world seemed like it was in chaos. It was all over the news. The principal didn't know whether to let everyone leave or to keep them there. So eventually they let school out. But before that, there were a lot of people crying and stuff. Like, my dad's gonna have to go overseas, go fight in the war, or I knew somebody who works at the towers, or weird things like that you just don't expect. It was very surreal. And we all had to gather in the auditorium, and they had a big ass white screen where they projected the news. So you just see this fucking giant white screen of the 2 towers. It was crazy. It was super surreal. But during this time, the only thing that I could think of was I was heartbroken over my girlfriend. Stupid shit you go through as a teenager because you think that love is everything.
Isn't perspective insane?
Perspective is crazy.
Now it's like, what were you doing on 9/11? I was heartbroken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
you
was
were
trying to find
17.
out if my girlfriend was cheating on me with my best friend, which she was. Which she told me that day, actually.
But
Isn't that funny? She
your
finally
own personal
confessed.
9/11.
Confessed. It was, yeah. I had 9/11 on 9/11.
I know you said you haven't watched Big Mouth and you hate when I refer to it, but there's a joke in there where they're like, it's your own personal 9/11 because she got her period when they were visiting the memorial.
Oh. Oh.
So like it's your own personal 9/11. I know. Hang on. 9/11 jokes never work. I'm not trying to make one right now.
Oh. So this week we're going to watch that fucking Deaf Noodles roast.
I'm not ready.
I have so much to say.